Hi, welcome to Friller's Gaming. Today we're talking about Heroes Charge and the Heroes Camp. This is the newest feature that came out with the latest release of Heroes Charge and update. It's actually pretty crazy how much information and content they packed into this thing called Heroes Camp. So let's click on there and check it out. Alright, so there's a lot of new buildings, and all my friends are saying this is a game within a game. But we've got the main building here, the War Hall. You see mine's level 3. I've been playing this a little bit. I wanted to kind of get some understanding of it before I tried to give you guys some feedback. And so I want to walk through each of these buildings from the left to the right so that you guys understand what these things are, what they do for you, and their importance. But you know what? Instead of going from the far left, I'll start with the War Hall. So the War Hall, if you click on that, what it does is you're able to put some defending players to defend your War Hall, or actually it's all of your resources. And there's a button here that says claim. There's some defending teams buff. So defending team's buff has to do with your team and the buff that they get for defending your area, or your War Hall. If you hit the claim button, that's the resources that you get, because as time goes on you get more resources. There's wood, it looks like there's a metal, and then there's mercury. And so depending on what level your War Hall is, it depends on the more you will gain per second. There's a level up button here at the top that if you click on, you'll see in order to get the building to the next level. So it's right now currently level 3, and then level 4 is the next level. I need 1 million wood, 1 million ore, and 200,000 mercury. But it kind of shows you what the next buff would be. Plus, the War Hall kind of sets the level for everything else, all your other buildings. You can't build your buildings beyond a certain amount because they're limited by the level of your War Hall. So you can change the setup of your team here. You can't use any of the teams that are defending in the caves. You can't use any mercenaries that are out right now. So if you wanted to get a nice team in there, you've got to pull out your anyone defending caves and the mercenaries. Alright, there's a button here for search for enemies. So here you can search for people with resources. You can hit the search again button. And the way this works is when you get into a battle, let's say I wanted to take this person's resources, I would click on plunder, and then the fighting works almost kind of like a crusade. So you know how at the end of every crusade battle you're able to keep whatever energy your heroes have? Well, that's kind of how this works. So if you battle this group, you're left with the same amount of energy that you had in the previous one. So let's just check it out. I've gotten energy for all of my heroes through other battles, and so a lot of my heroes have full energy. And so when I fight this battle, I'll start off with all this energy. Even though they have the defending buff, I should be able to beat them. And so it's just like the hard crusade. You don't gain any extra energy at the end of the battle, but you do gain energy for attacking like normal, and for killing another hero. So as you see, my heroes they lost some energy, but I was able to steal this guy's resources. So I got 5,000 wood, I've got some ore, and 0 mercury. So the other thing about this is if one of your guys dies in the battle, they replenish their life slowly over time. So one of the tricks that I do is I will find an enemy that is lower level, like really lower level if possible. Maybe some purples and some yellows, and I'll attack them, but I'll put my healer in and have them heal the whole group up, and kind of like fighting a really easy crusade like the first one. You put your healers in there so that they can have energy, to heal your group later. It's kind of how I use it, and I feel bad being much stronger than them to do that to them. I feel like a predator doing that, but you do what's necessary to get some extra energy so that you can fight big targets that have a lot of resources. Now, if you fight somebody and they decide to take revenge on you, there's another button here called Revenge. So if someone's attacked your war hall and stolen stuff from you, you can click on the Revenge button and pay 50 gems. That 50 gems will allow you to attack this person, and their vault will not be able to keep you from taking their resources. So what's a vault? Okay. Hopefully you get a good understanding of what the war hall is. So if we go down to the vault here on the bottom left, right now mine is level 3. Level 3 just means that you get to protect more of your resources, and of course it does not prevent against the revenge plunder. So if I have under 86,500 wood or if I have under 17,000 mercury, when I show up on someone's radar or on someone's search, they're not going to be able to plunder anything from me. So as you see, my resources at the top here, it's 11,000 wood, 15,000 ore, and 13,000 mercury. So there's no way that they're going to be able to steal anything from me right now, just because I don't have any resources. And again, that's only unless someone does a revenge plunder on me. Alright, so to level up the vault, you'll see that button on the top right. I need 100,000 or 130,000 wood, 125,000 ore, and 25,000 mercury. But notice it requires the war hall to be level 4, so I can't increase it beyond that. But it'll show you the next storage capacity that your vault can have. So you can see the different levels there. That's about it for the vault. For the furnace, this is a little bit different. Furnace is being able to take old items that you don't ever use except for enchanting, right? And breaking them apart into different pieces of wood, pieces of ore, or pieces of mercury. You'd think that they all go up as you go up in the different quality of item that you're doing, but it's not. I feel like it's very random. So if you look here, you'll see like this arrow reel, or U-bolt reel thrower. I mean, it has 4,000. You convert one of those for 4,000 wood, 5,000 ore, and 12 mercury. But like, for some reason, it looks like it goes down here in other ones, like the demon arrow, right? So it doesn't always make sense, but just click around and you might find something that's useful for you at the time. But on the right here, you'll see the furnace, the heat level. There's a maximum heat level that you can get to. So at my level, it's 6,000. At the next level, it's 8,000. But that just means if I put in, or it'll limit me to putting in a certain amount of items. So as you see here, I've got 88 bolt thrower reels, but if I slide that all the way up, it will show that it can only consume 40 of them. So that'll get me to 6,000 heat. That's why. And over time, the heat will dissipate, and you can add more things in here to change or to turn into disassemble. yeah, into different pieces. So the problem here is once I get past 86,000, my Warhol, which requires 1 million of each of those, once I get past 86,000, people start seeing my resources and start plundering them. So it's like, you got to be really lucky. You have to do it during a time when it's the least amount of people on your server, I guess. But you know what? Now they've integrated intra-server attacks. So someone who's on a different server could see me and attack me as well. So now there's more people that can attack you, which makes it more difficult for you to go under the radar. So if you've got 1 million resources and you're close to getting your next Warhol, you might get plundered a lot, and it might be very difficult to get there. All right, so that's the vault, the furnace, and now the training field. This one's pretty good. It allows you to train your different characters, and they can gain different things. So if you click on a character, you can see what different attributes they can gain. Like for this one, I can gain attack for my arcane, or my sapper, right? I can gain crit and magic resistance. All great things for this guy. If I click the level up button, it'll show you that the next one that I have requires Warhol level 4, and it has the cost and things. But it'll also show you the maximums that my boosts can get per character and per category. So right now I think I've been boosting up my sorceress. So you see she has a 810 magic power capacity. I've got 605. And every time you do the training, the return is a random return, but based on your level and based on your training level and based on the current caps that you have. So the higher the level, the more chance that you'll get a bigger return. So I would suggest you take a second look at some of these characters and try to figure out, where can I find attributes that will really help my guy out, or my heroes out. And maybe you'll stumble upon something great. Okay, so the next one is the Forge. The Forge is pretty cool. I just used the Forge, and I got a demon garment. But the problem with this is, see, when you craft something, it costs wood, ore, and mercury, and it also takes time. So the time on this one is 4 days. So it's pretty ridiculous at how long it takes to make these things. But you know what? It's better than before, where you didn't have anything at all, right? So I need another earth helm. I'm gonna go ahead and forge it. Start crafting earth helm. Okay. Now there's always a button here. I forgot to mention this. There's a speed up button, right? If you click speed up, you can pay the amount of gems to finish it instantly. I mean, that's if you have a lot of gems to throw out the window, because that's 5,050 gems. I mean, that's ridiculous for a helm. Just to save 4 days. Nah, I'm just gonna let it run. Again, there's a level up button. It'll tell you that you can unlock new things to forge, and it'll reduce your forging time instead of 2 hours by 3 hours. So maybe you get a better benefit here, where it doesn't take as much time. But I think as you get new items, like the orange items, 6 days, right, versus the 4 days for a purple item. So as the need gets bigger, I see that the item or the time gets larger as well. Alright, so that's it for the Forge. The next one is the Marketplace. Marketplace is kind of misleading. It's not really a marketplace where you're selling or where you're trading between players. It's just trading to the computer. And of course, you can trade something here on the left for something here on the right. So let's say I want a mercury, it'll give me what the exchange rate is, and I can hit the exchange button and it'll let me exchange. And based on your based on your marketplace level, you can use the lumber or gems, mercury, or coins. So if you have a lot of coins, this is a good thing for you. But if you don't, or you want to save your coins for level up stuff, then this is not an option for you. But you can also spend gems on things if you want. But I feel like there's not enough return on the investment here, because you're spending 100 gems on 3,000 pieces of wood. Doesn't make sense. But it might make more sense for you to trade lumber for some wood, or wood for some ore, or wood for some mercury. So you can make that choice, but you only can do it 60 times a day, which is a lot. So, and of course the level up determines how many you can do. And when you first start off, you're not able to trade mercury, and you're not able to trade coins for one of the other ones. Alright, the last one, the Academy. This one's interesting. On the left here you'll see a book, and when you click on it, it gives you a choice for getting pieces of that book, because it's, again, one of 20 right there. Like right now I have something of 7. And then in the book you'll see there's different skills and skill sets that apply to a certain character that you can purchase, and it'll take 5 minutes and 0 seconds to purchase this, but it'll allow something like a blessing or an attribute increase. So there's different books, there's different skills. So you'd want to look through these books and just see, what's your favorite character, which one do you want to buff up, and then you'll have to also notice right here, like I really want to do this one. Where is it? Magician Hunter. Alright, but it's going to require, at the bottom of there it says requires Research Academy level 4 to research. So I won't even be able to do this until I've got a Warhol level 4, which is the next level, but again, it's going to be difficult to gain all that. So I might just stick to the level 1 and 2 books, because there are some characters in here that I want to buff up that are not level 4. Alright, so leveling this one up just unlocks the different books researches. So since I'm level 3 right now, I'm able to unlock level 3 books. And then of course it depends on the Warhol level. So that's the camp. I think that's it to know for the camp. I guess as things progress and the game progresses, they might make this more complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. It's but I'm just amazed at the amount of content in here. So yeah, very interesting, very cool that it ties to the actual Heroes Charge game too, and very cool that you can forge things now, and also get buffs for your favorite characters, so they're not just dependent on the same pieces of armor that all the other guys have, and you might be able to have a stronger arena team, that they don't know about, because your buffs here are kind of hidden. So alright, well that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.